computer. Bam. Okay. So guys, I am so excited. Today we get to have Shelby, one of our fellow team members who got to be a part of the test group. She earned this by being a success starter. And so that was pretty freaking exciting. I know she's going to share a little more about it, but with the shipping delays, there were kind of a couple bumps with her test group experience, which is a bummer, but she made the most of it. And I'm just so excited that we have someone from our team to be an insider with information, and we get to get kind of the inside scoop right off the bat. So I'm going to go over a couple things, and then I'm going to kick it off and hand it to Shelby. So first and foremost, the launch date is for coaches is December 7th. And Shelby, if any of these are wrong, let me know, but this is just what I had on Beachbody. December 7th. The customer launch date is the 21st. Yeah. And then it becomes free on demand in the month of May. So I always tell people, like, if you're excited to do it, just buy it because it takes forever to get free on demand. So Kinsey is hosting a team wide group for all of us, for coaches, business coaches and discount coaches, whether they're a current coach or they want to sign as a coach or discount coach for this test group. And that's going to be over on Facebook, correct, Kinsey?
Yeah. And one thing I've been doing is like reaching out to all my discount coaches or anybody in my downline who's currently inactive and saying, hey, this new program's coming out. We're putting together a test group, a launch group. You should be a part of it. It's just going to be a really great way to get people active again, even if they're not an active coach, and to also boost your volume, to really utilize the launch in not just a customer way, but for the people that are already there in your pipeline that could, maybe they've just fallen off the wagon and need something to get started with again. I think it's a perfect time for them to have something like this.
Yeah, especially because there are those people that are like diehard Autumn fans. They love every program. They do every program. This is the person. Yeah, this is like that for that person. So that's going to be on Facebook, and it's the 21st. 21st will be prep week. And then we'll kick off the following, which I believe is the 28th. So literally perfect right after Christmas. That should give everybody time to get their goodies. I'm going to go over shipping here in a minute. Kinsey, have you created that Facebook group yet to share the link? No? Okay. So keep an eye on the team page. We'll make sure it's shared there. Second off, Michelle has created an info group for people interested in 9-week Control Freak. I have the link here. I will share it. But she has created an info group for anybody who wants to add people. So add people in there who want more information, that are hyped up. She's done a great job, and we'll be just sharing information as she goes. So there's a link in the group if you want to add people to that, or even if you just want to learn more yourself. I'm going to quickly talk about shipping delays, and then I'm going to go over challenge pack options for you guys, and completion packs, just so we have the options that we can see. So I mentioned on our last team call, but Beachbody, Carl and Michael Neiman came on and talked about they are working out, getting caught up. They were supposed to be caught up by Thanksgiving, where they should be back to normal shipping time frame. With a launch, there is usually a little more of a delay, but it shouldn't be what it was before. There was an issue with the second party that they hire to send stuff. They were saying, we'll get it fixed, and it wasn't getting fixed. So now that group has got caught up, and they've hired a second party to ship stuff. So there's 2 different companies sending stuff, so they should be getting stuff out more efficiently and quickly. So if you order on the 7th, it shouldn't be an issue where you have your goodies and are ready by the 27th, hopefully by the 21st for prep week. But if you order when it comes out, you should be good to go. If you have customers and they're wanting to order on the launch date of 21st, maybe plan on picking maybe like the second Monday in January as a safe bet for them to kick off. But just know there is an end in sight for that. As for bundles, I'm going to share my screen really quick and just go over them with you guys. I know Kinsey and I both shared them in the team page, but just to go over them really quickly before Shelby really goes into like the meat potatoes of the call. I'm not going to ask if my screen's being shared because I saw a TikTok making fun of it. And I told my husband, I always ask if people can see my screen. And he was like, no, you're one of those people. And I was like, yeah, I always ask. So I'm not going to ask. I know you guys can see it. So we're just going to move forward. She'll be so proud. Oh, wrong way. There's Jessica. Okay, so challenge pack options. There is, really quickly, one more thing. The step is not included because a lot of people already have the step. So they're not including the step with it. They can buy it from Amazon. They can buy it online, wherever they want. It is an option to add on at checkout with a bit of a discount, I believe, when they get this challenge pack. But they didn't want to require people to have it if they already own it. So there's the challenge pack with, they all have the door mechanism. I'm sure Shelby will fill us in later what it's actually called. The door doohickey thingy bobber, the ball, both nutrition plans with the journal, the containers, shakes, calendar, nutrition plan on demand. $199. Now keep in mind, coaches do not get a discount on challenge packs because it's already the best price we can get. Then we have the same deal as a completion pack without on demand for $169. Performance for $169. It's not on there. These are out of order. The challenge pack is $199 with just the shakes or the performance line. $259 for both for the challenge pack. There we go. There's the $199. Just the VIP access with the equipment needed is $100. Obviously, you have to have on demand currently to get that. Completion pack without on demand. And there's that. So so I already looked my on-demand or my Shakeology charges the week after. So I'm going to order the completion pack with the performance line and then just have it a week earlier than I would normally. Guys, these bundles, if you're already getting home direct, is always a better deal. So I highly recommend you do the completion pack. Reach out to people that are currently drinking the products and talk about the difference of cost if they were to get the bundle. Make sure you're talking about it in your groups, you're hyping it up, you're sharing as much as possible. I have a feeling this is going to be a huge program, just like 80-Day Obsession was, just like 21-Day Fix. When Autumn comes out with a program, it is legit. She has covered everything. People love her. So it's going to be a really great program. And I'm going to let Shelby go into more detail. And then if you have any questions while she's talking, feel free to add them in the chat bar and then we'll answer them after. But Shelby, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so for everyone that doesn't know, I'm Shelby. I just want to get this out of the way. I was part of 9-Week Control Freak. However, I was only able to complete 4 weeks. I ended up having surgery during the program, so I wasn't able to go all the way. But I've been still in the test group, so I've been able to see and be a part of all of the things that have come up during the process. So all of the complications, questions, and stuff like that. So if you have anything that you want to ask, I can still answer them. But let's see, started to write some stuff down. So just to kind of get like equipment stuff out of the way, it comes with the door track. That's what it's called. The doohickey is the door track. That's where I actually have it set up on my door back here. Autumn suggests that for every door track, it be attached to a door that opens away from you for safety purposes. If you don't have a door in your house that opens away from you that you can't use on the other side, then if it has a deadbolt is more safe. She also has an option for it to be mounted into your wall. So if you have space in your house for something like that, you can do that as well. It comes with the ball, and she also recommends that you don't try to buy the ball on Amazon or any other outlet because she has a specific sizing for the ball for a purpose, because you use it in so many different ways that you probably don't even know exist, and it works so good. So the step, I just bought that, I think at Walmart, and it had all the different sizes on it, so it worked just as well as the one through Beachbody. Let's see, and then you'll just need weights, all of the other stuff. So okay, so one of the next things that we talked about discussing was the length of the workouts. So you work out 5 days out of the week, you get 2 rest days. They are set up very specific in the program, and she advises that you try to follow it. During the first 3 weeks in phase 1, it's 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. So she has it set up to where it'll break down certain muscles and you rest those for that one rest day during the week, and then you go on to the next muscle group. They build up off of each other, so it's very quick and intense, and they're about 30 minutes or less. The cardio day is 18 minutes, and it kills you, but it's so good. Let's see. So I know a lot of times when we have customers and stuff that'll come to us asking about programs for like beginners and stuff, there is a modifier, Kat the modifier. We all know her. She's been in a lot of Autumn stuff. However, there are so many ways that you can modify a lot of the moves in this program, but I wouldn't suggest telling somebody who's super brand new to fitness in general that it's going to be a walk in the park, because it is it's very different from any other program on Beachbody. The way you use the ropes and everything with your body, the way you're twisting and stuff, modifying, you'd have to go a lot slower, and it probably wouldn't be as effective. So as long as you're just kind of open and upfront with customers and other coaches about that, just so that they kind of know, so that they're not expecting to go into it and going at the same pace as everybody else, because you are kind of working off of a timer most of the time. So just so all of you guys are aware. Nutrition options, Autumn Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset are both great options. For Ultimate Portion Fix, everybody just did foundational fix. It wasn't timed to nutrition or anything, so everybody was still having their glass of wine at the end of the night that they like to talk about, and there was no need to cut any of that stuff out. One of the things that I did want to touch base on, though, I was part of, I think, the second or third group that was finally able to start. There was a delay in equipment shipping for at least the first 3 weeks of the test group starting. So there was a lot of people that started later than, other people. They have it open still right now. So there's still people that are completing the program today and next week. And so it hasn't fully finished yet, just because there was such a delay. She did suggest for all of those starting when they do order, depending on when they order, to just not expect to start until January. You're probably not going to get the equipment in time to start anytime in December, just to kind of give yourself that leeway so that customers aren't expecting to get it earlier than that, or coaches for that matter, because I guess the 21st wouldn't really give that much time anyways. But so for that being said, she was saying probably the second week of January is a really good goal for everybody to start the groups. So like I said, 5 days on, 2 days off. It's split in the middle. Each week is different. I do have my little calendar that I had hanging up, so you can kind of see where rest days and stuff were. So we had 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 off. Then phase 2, it went 2 days rest, 2 days rest, 1. So it kind of split it up throughout each phase, and there's 3 phases total. Every single night, she recommends doing the nightly stretch. It's kind of part of the recovery process for your rest and everything. So it's something that she kind of required of all of us to do every single night, which actually really helped. It was kind of like a rule of thumb to turn electronics and everything off about an hour before bed, because you realize how much more rested you were the next day, and that's just kind of a rule of thumb for life anyways. But it really helped with recovery and relaxation. And of course, Autumn always has bonus abs, I swear, on every program that she has. So every day there was a bonus abs for 10 minutes. That was killer. And the last thing that I really wanted to just kind of talk to everybody about, for those of you guys that don't know, when I first joined Beachbody, I bought a challenge pack for 80-day obsession. So I am a huge Ride or Die Autumn fan. However, when I started 3 years ago now, I think is when that was released in 2017, I totally gave up within the first 2 months. I quit on myself just because I wasn't really sure how to do everything. I went into it blindly, but back in March when I restarted everything, I redid 80-day obsession. And after I totally finished the program and followed everything to a T, I lost 30 pounds and really understood how important it was to trust the process. And the reason why I bring this up is because this program it's short and sweet for how long each workout is. However, the first week seems like it's too good to be true. Like it's almost too easy. You feel super strong. You're like, okay, why isn't it a little bit harder? But she talked about it. She's like, okay, you guys need to realize that we're kind of just building up the momentum for the next week. And it really did hit you hard the next week. So I just want to stress the fact that it might seem easy a little bit in the beginning, but you really just have to trust what she's doing because she builds you up for so much more and you won't even realize how much strength you're building on top of each tiny little muscle to get to the next point in the program and get to the next move and finish the next thing. So with that long, explanation, I have never enjoyed something so much in my life. I thought I loved 80-day obsession, but 9-week control freak is a game changer. The equipment that where you're able to get to the muscles and everything with the equipment for this program that we haven't used before in Beachbody, it's amazing. It's like having a gym in your own home with very minimal equipment. So it's really great. I can't emphasize enough how much I love how she creates programs over and over again. But I think that everybody's going to be kind of blown away with how short each workout is, but how significant they really are and how strong you feel. I went in and I had surgery. It wasn't anything major. I got my boobs done. Let's just get that out of the way. I used to have tiny boobs and now they're bigger. So when I went in for surgery, my doctor was like, oh my God, you're in such great shape. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I ended up, messaging Autumn on our little group, and because Autumn has her boobs done too, so she was giving me all of her advice and telling me that she's happy that our program was able to get me into really great shape. And so I just want to let everybody know, as fangirl as I was talking to Autumn about the program and how much it's done, it really is. It's great, and I really hope that you guys all enjoy it as much as I did, because it's phenomenal, and I can't wait to be able to kind of start it all over again and get to the finish line this time. And I've been watching everybody and how their transformations have been. Y'all don't even know half of it. This group was 800 and something people. And so there's just been daily, the last week or so, there's been daily transformation pictures. So you guys are probably going to see way more than you already have. But as far as everything else goes, if you guys have any questions, I can show you the equipment. I mean, I have the door track on there, but I just have the ropes and everything if you have questions about anything else.
Really quickly, while people ask questions, I was just going to go over one more thing. You kind of remind me when you talked about equipment. And she was talking about the door option. She's talking about putting it in the wall. I think now more than ever, it's really important that we talk to our customers to make sure one of those two options will work for them. So for me, I don't have a door leading into my garage because there's like a wall right in front of it. So I'm going to do the wall, adhering to the wall because it's my gym. But some people work out in a living room and they're not going to put something in the wall, but maybe they don't have a door nearby that closes that way. So I think it's just really important that we give them a heads up, like it is required. You have 2 options. How can we make it work? Because the last thing we want is people to buy it and then not realize the door issue. So I just want to touch on that really quick to make sure that you let people know before they purchase, like, hey, here are the 2 options. Will one of these work for you? And I've been told Autumn is going to do a video, or someone will, how to install it properly and safely into a wall. But I just wanted to go over that. I think there were a couple questions besides the one I asked in the thread. Let me see.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I know 80 Day Obsession, like weights got pretty heavy, especially at the end with like leg day and stuff, but what size weights do you think you use the most with this program?
So by the time that I started this program, I had worked my way up to 25s. I would not recommend 25s in this program. I would say probably intermediate weights.
Okay.
Probably like starting, you could even start with 5s. The moves that she does, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, some of them are just so complex, the way that she has you move the weights around. It's very important for you guys to start off with a smaller weight so that you get the hang of the moves before trying to bump up. You will gradually bump up because I mean, all programs, you kind of just build up the endurance on it. But for the first week, I would say between 5 and 8, depending on where your strength lies. And then after that, I didn't ever go higher than like 20s, especially with like legs and stuff, because I mean, I'm super clumsy. So we used the step a lot for leg days, and you would, like doing curtsy lunges on a step, holding weights in both hands, you got to really pay attention to all parts of your body. And so trying to do it at a faster pace the way they do, that's kind of why I'm saying maybe a little bit of a lighter weight than you would normally go, just to make sure you kind of get the hang of everything. But there were other people, especially the guys in the program, that were going, like 30s and stuff. But it kind of all depends on where your endurance lies, but I would definitely say start off with the lower weight first so that you don't pull anything, because I've done that so many times and I almost did it. There were multiple people in the test group that would like roll the ankle off of the step. So I would definitely say a little lighter at first and then kind of see where you're at. I didn't ever get past a 20 up until week 4, but that was just for my legs. I didn't ever use anything heavier than a 15 with arms.
I put in there, did people follow Tubi and Ultimate Portion Fix in the group?
There were a couple of people in the test group that did 2B. The majority of people did Ultimate Portion Fix, and I think that was most likely just because it was an Autumn program. So just doing Ultimate Portion Fix with her, so that every time she was posting food or nutrition, anything, we kind of all fell under the same platform. But there were people in there that were definitely doing 2B mindset.
And then feel free to unmute yourself if you guys if you have any questions or anything too.
So Shelby, it's been really good to hear from your perspective how it went. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah, no
but
problem.
I have a question because I'm a rule follower, but sometimes
Yes.
I'm like, they can't possibly really be important. So I'm going to ask the question, how important do you think it is if your door shuts really well that it doesn't lock, and it doesn't open the right way? Like, how critical is it? Is it because they legally want to tell you that you shouldn't have a door open the wrong way? Or do you think it really, I'm curious about your opinion, and I know we need to follow the rules, so I probably shouldn't even be asking you this question, but I'm curious.
I'm glad you asked. So in my opinion, normally at first I was like, why do we really need a door that opens away from us? until I did a specific move that ended up being very frequent. You end up tugging on the door track so hard with your whole entire body weight, and jumping up and down. You end up doing mountain climbers away from your door a certain kind of way to where your whole entire body weight is on it. I didn't ever really hear, I mean, there was over 800 and something people in, so I could have totally missed something. I didn't ever hear of anyone saying they had an accident with the door opening on them. I know there were several people that didn't have that option, that lived in an apartment, that weren't able to mount it on their wall because they didn't want to put giant holes in it, or, you know, so on and so forth. However, there were solutions for those people. They bought the door stoppers that you shove underneath your door to prevent it from opening on them, because they didn't have the option to have a door open away from them. So if that's something that helps kind of answer, there were workarounds. However, I do think you should take as many precautions as possible, because I had an accident with one of mine. My door didn't open on me, but I definitely let go of one of the bands, and it put a giant gash in my door. So it's very hit or miss with the safety for that. So I would definitely say put door stoppers under it, make sure that it's as secure as possible, because you tug on it so much, and it's secure on the door, but it's like that door is going to come off with the whole entire thing instead, and whack you right in the face or something. So I would definitely say it's pretty important, but if you have all the safety precautions around it, then I think you'll be okay.
I have a question. Can you hear me? Hello. So I am brand new to this whole program, and my husband and I just completed 21-day fix, and now we're graduating into MBF. Tonight was our first night to prepare us for Control Freak, because I'm totally excited. Now, this is where it's going to get real for a second. I'm a plus size girl. That is just the reality. And with my fitness, I suffer with lipedema, which means I'm very bottom heavy. So I'm thicker than the average bear. And that is kind of the group of women that I love working with and talking with and things like that. So when we talk about a door smacking us, holding our body weight, my husband and I are going to do it together. And we're going to put one on the door, and then we're going to install one on the wall, anchored into the wall, which is probably the one that I'm primarily going to use. I don't know what the weight it will hold, or what kind of stress it's actually going to put on the track itself. And that way I can prepare people as I'm in the program, because I don't ever want anybody to ever think because of their size they're limited, because you can do it if you try. But if you install it on the wall, we're putting it in our living room and our dining room, and it makes a perfect conversation piece, for people to come in and say, what is that? It's like, well, let me tell you about it.
Right.
So I wanted to know, though, like in your test group, were there heavier set people, by 60 to 100 pounds, that, and I know that physicality, I know that they have to be able to be fit enough to be able to maintain it, but, I have the heart of a racehorse, so I can endure that. What did you see from your perspective and where you were?
There were people of all shapes and sizes, all age groups, everything. I have 100% faith that this program is going to work for everyone. Those were some of the most inspiring transformations, mentally, physically, spiritually, that I saw in this program, because it had, the title kind of says everything for itself. 9-week Control Freak, you take 100% control of everything. And that's kind of where everything fell into place. But as far as, just weight restrictions in general, it wasn't even a topic
Okay.
at all. There were so many people. I mean, I can't even explain to you how amazing it was. There were people that lost like 60 pounds in 9 weeks. So heavier. I think one of the ladies that we became friends on Facebook, and we started talking about everything. She weighed closer to 300 pounds, and she was able to complete this program, and she lost quite a bit of weight and inches. And I mean, of course, with every program, especially anybody who is even just out of shape in general, no matter what size they are, starting off with a program like this, it's going to be a little more difficult. But that was the great thing about it, especially having Kat on there. She modified so many things in the beginning, and it made it so easy even for me whenever I was like, how are they even doing this? They take one step at a time, and they totally explain how to properly modify and still get 100% of the workout in. So I think that that'll be something that you won't really necessarily have to worry about. I don't know the weight, like, I don't know if there was like an actual weight limit on the bands or not. That could be something I can ask, because we're still fully in the group right now. And I can reach out and see if even Autumn will talk about that for wall versus door and so on, just to kind of get an answer for that. But I think that the way that they set it up on the wall is even more secure than it is on the door, just because it is the flat surface into the wall. So I think that it'll be totally safe and good to go. I hope that answered your question. I kind of like rambled off into a little thing, but.
It's okay. You're in the same company. I go from A to B to D to Z. So I appreciate your answers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Anybody else? I'm so excited for this program. I feel like every time Autumn comes out the program, I'm like, this is my jam. This is my program. And I love that they're shorter, because I loved 80-Day Obsession and I got the best results I've ever gotten. And shocker, it was one of only 2 programs I can truly say I followed to a T with nutrition, which have both been Autumn's programs. And I've always gotten great results. So I'm excited that people are getting killer results, but they're shorter workouts, which I think is going to talk to a lot of people, especially in the new year. So
yes.
I'm super excited. Last chance if anyone has any questions. Thanks so much,
I
guys.
just wanted to show you guys really quick. I kind of got them out, but these are the bands that will hook right into the loop. So when I say that you pull and tug and everything, you pull until the resistance is like at its full capacity, and jump with this. So you're just holding on to this for dear life when you're jumping.
Is one more resistance than the other?
Yes. So the maroon is the stronger resistance. This is probably about beginner. You know how like 80-Day Obsession with all the resistance loops and stuff, how it was like yellow, green, blue. I would say that this is a mix between a yellow and a green, and then this would be your blue. So work up to it as you're going along. And space-wise, I'm like trying to figure out how to move around here. Ugh. That's how much space I had. Just so you guys all know.
Oh, awesome.
Very little space. I had to move my room around a little bit just because I couldn't do it on my other door, but you don't need very much space at all. If you feel more comfortable with more space, obviously finding a bigger area, but that it really didn't take much. There were people that were doing it in like a tiny attic space, so it was it's a very honest program.
Yay. Okay. I'm guessing we're done. Shelby, thank you so. Oh, go ahead, Nona.
Sorry, I'm eating, so I had it off. What would you suggest if somebody that's pregnant wants to do the program? Like newly pregnant.
Oh, Shelby, you're muted. There you go.
Oh, I don't really have an answer for that, if I'm being completely honest. Only because of, I mean, newly pregnant, I would say that they could do the program still, but just with the more complex, like maybe floor moves and stuff, there's a lot of like getting up and getting down constantly. And so I wouldn't, it kind of depends on where they're at in their pregnancy and how they feel in general with moving so quickly or getting up and down so fast. Or I wouldn't suggest some of them that are more closer to the end of the program, just because they get pretty quick and intense. And it's kind of like, if anyone remembers cardio and 80-day obsession, how you started with one move and then you did another one and then you did that move and then you kind of built on top of it until you're doing like 50 moves at the end of a workout, and it kind of just built on top of each other over and over and over again. That's kind of how this is. And so with having so many complex different moves, I would just be a little hesitant on injury and whether or not they would be comfortable enough to complete some of them. So I don't know if newly pregnant or further along in pregnancy, I would kind of have to, there was no one that I saw that was pregnant in this in the test group.
That's a good question. I know in the past 80-day obsession, they have, yeah, talk to your doctor. That's a good point. They have said 80-day obsession is not pregnancy approved, so this might be the case.